There was a time when strength was not a gift, but a sentence. When power came wrapped in agony, in endless nights spent fighting demons that wore your own face. Bruce Banner lived that time, survived it, wore the cost of it like a brand upon his soul. Every moment of peace he carved was a miracle born from struggle. Every breath he took without destruction trailing behind him was a silent victory. But then came a new face, a new name, a new roar in the silence. Jennifer Walters emerged, radiant and unbroken, untouched by the brutal rites that once defined what it meant to be Hulk. Where Bruce clawed through madness and guilt, Jennifer strolled with a smile. Where he suffered through isolation and fear, she found balance without ever knowing the full weight of the monster inside. It was not her strength that wounded the legacy. It was how easily it came. How the torment that shaped Hulk's journey was brushed aside with casual laughter and effortless mastery. The pain that once made Bruce a mirror of humanity's darkest battles was repackaged as a punchline, a quick lesson, a forgotten page. The road he walked alone, through ash and sorrow, was replaced by a shortcut paved in indifference. There is tragedy hidden behind the brightness. Tragedy in forgetting that every ounce of strength was once paid for with blood, with fear, with loss. Bruce did not simply learn to be strong. He earned it in the crucible of broken trust, in cities reduced to rubble, in the haunted silence between battles. His scars told a story Jennifer never had to read, a story that deserved more than a passing nod. Still, somewhere beneath the frustration, beneath the sadness, a fragile hope clings to the ruins. Hope that She-Hulk's story is not finished, that her future can still carry the echoes of Bruce's journey with reverence rather than dismissal, that she can still understand the monster not by taming it effortlessly, but by feeling its hunger, its sorrow, its terrible weight upon her soul. In this video, we will unravel how She-Hulk's instant control over her powers disrespected the very essence of Hulk's journey. We will explore the decades of trauma Bruce endured and why that pain made his triumphs sacred. We will break down how skipping the struggle cheapens the victory. We will mourn the loss of depth in the mythos of rage and redemption. And we will ask if there is still time to honor the road paved with scars and sorrow. When She-Hulk first stepped onto the screen, something felt different. Something in the air, something in the way power flowed effortlessly through her veins. Jennifer Walters did not crawl through the fire to earn her strength. She awakened with it, laughed with it, molded it as if it was second nature. There was no trembling hands, no screams swallowed in the dark, no desperate bargaining with a monster inside. For years, Bruce Banner's life was defined by an endless war within himself. A war fought in silence, in laboratories, in shattered landscapes of his own making. Every smile he managed to carve from the chaos felt hard-won and delicate. His journey was a study in agony and survival, a dance on the edge of madness. And then, in a blink, Jennifer made it look like a joke. Curiosity blooms, not in judgment, but in the search for understanding. Why did it come so easily for her? Why was mastery immediate, when Hulk's very existence had been a tragedy of flesh and mind torn apart? Was this evolution, or was it a careless brushstroke across a masterpiece of pain? Was it meant to honor the past, or quietly erase it? Bruce taught us that strength without control was a curse. He showed us that the battle was never just with enemies outside, but with demons crouched deep within. His was a story of resilience forged from failure. It mattered because it was messy, because it was ugly, because it was human in ways most heroes could never be. And so when Jennifer Walters grinned and flexed and breezed through lessons Bruce bled to learn, it left something hollow in the air. A question without an answer, a wound without a scar, a journey robbed of the weight that made it real. There is frustration in watching a legacy brushed aside with a wink, in seeing the cost of survival treated like a mere inconvenience. Bruce Banner fought for decades to cage the rage inside him, to hold back fists that could level cities, to chain down screams that could rip the skies apart. And in a single montage, She-Hulk undid that struggle like it was child's play. It was not her confidence that stung. Confidence is earned. Confidence is celebrated. It was the dismissal, the casual shrug at what had once been a matter of life and death. As if the blood Bruce shed, the friends he lost, the hours spent alone on forgotten roads meant nothing. As if the Hulk's agony was an outdated relic, unworthy of respect. We watched Bruce lose everything, time and time again. Watched him beg for control when control would not come. Watched him sacrifice peace, love, even his own body in pursuit of harmony with the beast inside. And when Jennifer laughed off that journey, it was not empowerment we saw, it was erasure. There is sorrow in realizing that the weight of a journey can be forgotten so easily, that the battles fought in silence can be rewritten with a smile and a punchline. Bruce's journey was never about smashing enemies alone. It was about smashing fear, smashing shame, smashing the walls that isolated him from the world. Each transformation was a death and a rebirth. Each moment of control was a victory over an endless storm. And each failure carved itself deeper into his soul, until even triumph tasted like ash. He was not just fighting villains. He was fighting the parts of himself that wanted to be forgotten, the parts that whispered that he was better off alone. The sorrow grows when we see how Jennifer was spared that crucible, how she was allowed to skip the worst chapters without having to earn the calm after the storm. It was not envy that echoed through the audience. It was mourning. Mourning for the gravity that once gave Hulk his humanity. Mourning for the pain that once made him more than just a weapon. In Bruce's story, we found pieces of ourselves. Our fears, our regrets, our desperate wish to be better than our worst days. To watch that story be reduced to a footnote hurt more than words could capture. It felt like losing a part of what made the Hulk more than muscle and rage. Losing the humanity that made him a mirror of our own struggles. And so we grieve not because Jennifer Walters became strong. We grieve because in doing so without sacrifice, the saga of a broken man who dared to heal was quietly buried under the noise. Still, there is awe in the realization that Jennifer Walters' journey could have been something beautiful. A story that built upon Bruce's without erasing it. A new chapter that honored the blood-stained pages before it. Power in her hands could have been the bridge between strength and acceptance. A testament to how far the world had come. Imagine a She-Hulk who learned from Bruce's past, who respected the monsters she never had to face, who carried forward not just the might of Hulk's body, but the wisdom etched into Hulk's soul. There was a breathtaking opportunity to evolve the myth without mocking it. To show that every ounce of pain endured was not wasted, but woven into something stronger. Hope remains fragile but unbroken, that the future can still honor the past, that Jennifer's journey is not finished, that her story can still embrace the depth that was missing from its first steps. Growth does not erase mistakes. It acknowledges them, learns from them, and rises stronger. There is hope that She-Hulk can become more than a punchline, that she can carry forward the lessons Bruce bled to learn, that she can confront her own darkness instead of laughing in its face. No one becomes a hero by skipping the hard parts. They become heroes by surviving them, by facing them, by choosing again and again to stand tall. The best heroes are not the ones who never struggle. They are the ones who struggle and still find the strength to love, to fight, to hope. Jennifer can still be that hero. She can still walk the road, Bruce carved through blood and loneliness. She can still find her own monsters and wrestle with them until her strength becomes her own. Hope is not passive. It demands effort. It demands that the torchbearers of legacy understand the flames they carry. It demands that new stories be built on respect, not on the ashes of the old ones. And so we hope, not that She-Hulk will erase Hulk's pain, but that she will honor it, transform it, and in doing so, remind the world why the journey matters as much as the destination. In the end, the tragedy is not that She-Hulk exists. It is that the depth of Hulk's pain was treated like a disposable footnote in her rise. It is that the years of isolation, of rage, of healing, were wiped away with a smirk and a shrug. Bruce Banner's story was a tapestry woven with anguish and redemption. Every thread a scar, every color a memory of battles fought, not just with fists, but with fragile pieces of himself. To see that tapestry discarded so casually is to witness a quiet, unspoken betrayal. A betrayal not of Bruce alone, but of everyone who saw their own struggles reflected in his endless fight. Legacy demands more than acknowledgement. It demands reverence. It demands that we carry the weight of those who came before us with humility, not with arrogance. That we see their battles not as inconveniences, but as foundations we dare not take for granted.